So thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. I realize it's probably lunchtime, so I really appreciate you joining today. This webinar we're going to talk about teaching with technology. My name is Harry Sun. I am a fellow at the CGU's Cafe Center, which is the Center for Academic and Teaching Excellence. And today my main goal of this webinar is to kind of show you the tools that can be used to really enhance student learning and engagement in the classroom. And so my purpose for this webinar is to be very hands-on. So I will show you step-by-step hands-on how to create and use these tools and transform them into your classroom activity. But also part of the webinar will be also about like getting you to try on some of the tools I'm going to show you. So what I want you to do is have your a mobile phone or a computer ready to participate in some of the activities today. So here's an overview of today's content. I will actually start with a very short discussion on why to teach with technology, right? Because I want to acknowledge that, some of us may be more familiar with technology than others. So I just want to take a moment to reflect on what technology actually brings us to the classroom. And then I will spend the rest and the majority of today's webinar showing live demos of different tools. And I chose 4 specific tools, Slido, Padlet, Kahoot, and Peruso, to represent a diverse range of tools that you can use. So we have Slido, which is like a live polling Q&A platform. Padlet is a visual collaboration platform. Kahoot is a game-based learning game. And Peruso is a social learning platform. So I chose these 4 to represent like the wide range of tools that you can use in your own teaching. And at the very end of today's session, there will be a very final reflection time, and then we'll also have some time for questions. All right, so let's dive in. So I'm gonna start with like a little discussion on why do we want to teach with technology. I also want to acknowledge that the fact that, since COVID-19, there has been really a push or a need for remote teaching and online learning. And that is really different from the traditional classroom, right? So in the traditional classroom, like I imagine when I grew up, my teacher teach with like whiteboards and writing on those boards, and they print out physical materials and hand it to them every class before. But now it's completely different. So especially with the changes in COVID-19, remote online teaching, it often poses a challenge for teachers to get a student to be engaged. And so I really think that interactive technology can provide so much benefits for teachers to engage the students, right? So I think in general, there are different benefits. One of the first is to get feedback and assessment, right? Interactive technology can provide teacher with immediate and specific feedback. So as we all know, feedback is really important while you teach because you want to get a sense of where the student is at and adjust the way you teach based on where the student's progress is at. So technology really enables that. The second benefit is really about accessibility. Technology allows different forms, different ways for the student to engage, right? So if we think about in a traditional classroom where the only way to engage is probably raise your hand and try to speak in front of the class. But as we all know that's some students might not be comfortable doing that. So technology really enables the needs for a more diverse learner population by allowing students to not only engage through speaking, but maybe through typing, through collaborations, through creating, through art, different formats and modalities, and that also relates to the inclusive design in the classroom. Um, uh, Also, another benefit for the teachers is that technology really provides a lot of efficiency for teachers to either do their course prep or to engage in a classroom, to do a classroom activity. So rather than having to write on the board, right now you can just type and show it on the screen. Rather than having to prepare and print out the physical material, you can just create an electronic version and share it easily with your student. So that really increased that teaching efficiency. Other than the benefits for teachers, I want to also acknowledge the student from the student perspective, how interactive technology really also benefit the student, right? First of all, it really enhanced student engagement in the classroom by through using those interactive technologies. Student can also be like situated learning around the student, which is the student-centered learning, right? Technology provides students with more classroom autonomy and to also adapt to their own pace, um, which really put the student at the center of learning rather than the teacher. Um, so that is really a way to empower students and to encourage their learning. Then that also relates to the third point I have, which is intrinsic motivation and fun in the classroom, which I personally believe is really the key way if we want to cultivate lifelong learning, right? We have to not only to teach them content that we want to teach, but also teach them how to find intrinsic motivation in learning, so that can really sustain their engagement in learning as well as in classroom. So I just want to this is a very quick discussion, a talk on kind of the motivations on whys before I want to dive into the different tools I want to introduce you today. So I hope that's helpful. So now I will transition into the demos, like kind of the main body of this webinar. So so in total, I'll like that live demo for different tools. And the way I want to do it is first, before I show you how to do it, before I show you how to implement it, I want to get you to participate in the activity, right? To get some experience from the student perspective of what it will be like. And then that will also help you to decide whether this tool is for you or not. So the first demo I want to show you is a Slido. It is easy to use Q&A and live polling platform where you can see the result of student responding in a lifetime. So first of all, I have implemented this example of Slido here. So you can join this activity by either scanning the QR code on the top left of the screen, or you can join through going slido.com and then enter this hashtag number 1364544 to join. And once you join, you'll be able to select and respond to this question, and the result will show up immediately on the screen. Okay, so we have about 50% of people that feels really comfortable with technology was, okay. Yeah, so you can see as people respond, like the polling result would like update itself, which is a really good feature. And in that way, it's kind of like getting that instant live feedback from the student in your classroom activity, and that could be really be helpful. So this is one example of the things you can do with Slido. I will actually um, skip up here to kind of show you more about how this is what the backend of this look like. Um, so so Slido is actually a web a web-based platform where if you go to Slido account, you can see that you can log in or sign up here. So I will just log in with my existing account. And once you're logged in, you can see that this is kind of what the platform looked like, right? So you can create a new Slido on the web by clicking here, create Slido. And then you'll be able to give a name. So I'll just say example Slido, and you hit create. And then you will be able to select different interactions you want for this. So you can either do an audience Q&A where the students will be typing in their questions, and they can also vote on each other's questions. And that way is a way for you to know what the students want to know, what their question is. Multiple choice, which is the one we did, that you can provide students with different options for them to choose, and you will also be able to see the result live. Word cloud is a one where you can student can enter their response, and then it will automatically visualize those text response into a cloud of words. There's also open text, ranking, rating, quiz, and survey. So let's say let's just want to demo a multiple choice here. You can type in your question, and then do your response, do your options. And then you can just, once you're done with that, you can hit start interaction here. And then that way, so this question has been created. And you can test it by selecting or present it through here, present, and you'll show in a new window where this kind of looks like what we had, right? Like this QR code and join. So this is one way to do the Slido on a web page. But what I found to be more interesting and useful in teaching is that Slido also have these integrations. So if you click into the integration tab here, you can see that you can actually embed Slido into multiple different platform or apps that we already been using in a lot of the teaching. So for example, PowerPoint is the one I just showed you. It can also be implemented in Google Slides so that you're like kind of embedding those questions inside your slides. But also, it can also be implemented in WebEx, Microsoft Teams, and even Zoom account. So for those different Zoom teams, it is actually an app you would add so rather than something you have to download, you just kind of an extra add-ons. But for the PowerPoint, which is the one I showed you, you have to download a very small app on your computer to run it. So you go to this page and select which operating system it works for you and hit download. And once you have downloaded the app on your computer, then when you go to your PowerPoint and when you go to a blank page, you'll see this little icon, Slido icon pop up on your menu. And you can just simply click into that, and a menu will pop up on the right-hand side. I'll zoom in a little bit. So this is very similar to what we saw on the web page, where you can select different questions. So let's say we want to create um, a ranking question. So the ranking question is when you can present people with different options, and they will indicate their level of preference through ranks. So you can say, for example, which color do you like the most? And you can add different options. And then there will be also options here, checkbox you can select. You can choose to randomize those options or require a certain number of response. Here is like whether this setting show result is whether you want the, so when people have entered the answer, whether you want to show it immediately or you want to wait a little bit and click once to update the response, depending on what type of questions you may want. So once you're done with those settings, click add to presentation. And what it will do is that it will automatically create a new slides for you. And it might look like this on when you're like editing, but once we go to slideshow, it will automatically open the Slido link, and it will become something more like this for like people to join, and with this QR code and the game pin. So that is one example of doing it of a ranking question, but also, as you can see, there are other options, other functions that you can choose from. So that is like a very quick demo on how to, what it looks like to use Slido, as well as how to create one for your own. So before we move on to our second demo, is there any questions for this app?
There's a question in the chat from Brian. What if someone is joining the Zoom on their phone or the tech doesn't work? Is there a best practice plan B?
That's a good question. What if someone? Yeah, like that's an interesting question, because yeah, like people could be joining on their phone. Maybe you could, there's a way that they could I think they will still be able to participate on their phone if they just minimize the Zoom account and go to like the Chrome or website and join it from there. But if there's something like if like the phone doesn't work, they could also try it on the laptop. But if like all tech fails, I imagine, suppose that uh, maybe the best way is to communicate with the teacher, and then get the teacher to kind of input it for them. That's the best way I can think of. I don't know if that's the best the answer you're looking for. Um, there's another question. A student responds anonymous. I think yes. So for this one, is only like showing maybe the audience Q&A. I think it is completely anonymous, like the names won't be showing for this Slido.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, we have a hand in chat. Please feel free to unmute and ask questions, or type in the chat if that's easier. Oh, okay. I see your. So Alejandra asked the question. So it looks like you downloaded your PowerPoint into Slido. Does that mean you will need to open your PowerPoint slides, or can you download the PowerPoint with the Slido activities integrated? I think that's a good activities. That's a good question. I
will find out myself, because you obviously don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm actually not sure whether, let's say, if I give you this my slides with Slido activities inside, whether you download it and you can use it. I think that at least you will have to have the Slido app downloaded on your computer to use it. That's the best answer I can tell you. But it's pretty straightforward if you want to embed it in your slides, right? It's just through clicking. But yeah, I think that's a good question, and I'll definitely find out and let you know afterwards. Okay. So let's now move on to our second demo. So Slido is like live polling and Q&A. The second demo I want to show you today is called Padlet. So some of you might be familiar with it, is a visual collaboration platform for creative work and education. So the way I want to show you is first show you an example of what the Padlet could look like for one of the class. So since I'm already logged in here, I have created this demo that's pretended to be a psychology 101 class, where this is what it would look like. You can have different posts, and each post comes with its own title and the content, right? You can edit. You can actually also embed some of the things like upload a file or insert link, add pictures, or they even do a video or audio recording and attach to each post. So this is what it will look like. But also this is one way to use it. But like I've seen like many different creative ways that people have used Padlet. For example, some instructors want to use it for a little book club where people share their favorite book and their notes, and so that other people can see. People can use it to post like classroom agreement or community agreement. There are also different other creative ways that people have tried, but really essentially it is just like a visual collaboration platform that everyone can participate in. And so I want to show you like first of all, show you little settings of what it will look like on the what things you can do with it. So when you go to like the little, see the right hand side, the menu, and there's a little setting. So once you click into that, you can see that there are different things that you can modify for this specific Padlet room. So you can change the title, add a little bit description. You can even add icon for the room. And you can change the wallpaper, which is kind of like the background. You can do just plain color, gradient, or texture. You can change the color scheme of the post. Right now it's set to light, but you can switch it to dark mode. You can change the font, change the post size. So right now it's standard. You can also do a wide version. You can change the format. So right now it is like in a wall format, but I would just click into each format to show you what it looks like. So if you want it to be columns, do a grid, table, free form, which basically means that you can drag through and arrange it yourself. You can do rows, timeline, stream, or even they have this really cool feature where you can actually embed your post on a map. So if you're teaching like geography, you can add little nodes to literal maps of the world. So that's really cool. You can also select different sorting strategy, whether you want new posts to come in first or last, enable or disable comments and emoji reactions. You can either show or hide author. So if you select hide, every post will become anonymous. You can also do content filtering. So whether you want the post to require no approval or automatic approval based on like AI, or you can manually approve all posts and comments. Another cool thing you can do is to customize the URL. So right now, if you want to share this with your participant or student, you will just simply copy this link, and I will actually copy it in a chat, and so that people can try it out themselves. But what you can also do is to customize the URL. Say you want to change it to, let's say, example Padlet, and that will automatically update what the URL looks like. So right now it's, so that's something you can customize. So that is like the settings of what it looks like inside a Padlet. But also, I want to show you how to create one from scratch. So to do that, you just simply go to the Padlet, go to Home, can click Make. Yes, click this little plus Make here, and to make a new Padlet. And right now they're integrating a lot of existing templates that you can use. Some of them are AI, some of them are pre-made templates. But just for the demo purpose, I'll create one from scratch. So you can select the blank board, create new here. And the first thing you want to do is to create a title for your Padlet. So say example Padlet. And you can choose from different formats, but remember you can also change this afterwards. So right now I'll just do a wall format. And that's it. That's all it takes to create this a new Padlet. And of course, you can invite people to populate the content, or you can add posts. So if you want to add posts yourself, you can do so by clicking in the little add icon at the bottom right. And you'll be able to enter your post, your title, and description. And also you can choose to upload different, either a file, a link, a photo, even a YouTube video, a Spotify music, anything you want. Right. So once you're done uploading, you can hit publish, and it will just be added to one of to the wall. And of course, like if you want to switch some of the settings, you can do so on the right-hand side through this little icon here. So is there any questions regarding this Padlet platform before we move on to our next one? Yes, Brian?
Hi. Thanks for introducing this. This is a very cool tool. I'm wondering, with Zoom, when it came out, there was Zoom bombing, which was like the unauthorized, uninvited person group thing that could happen. And so with this, when I tried to comment, it kind of asked for my name as like Trout or something. So I'm just wondering, uh, can this be like invite only, or are there ways? Because I can foresee with this bulletin board that there could be a risk of that happening.
That's a good question. I think it might be able to I mean, like, yeah, I take your point as like anyone, basically anyone with the link can access and add content into the Padlet. So there might be a question whether, someone else from outside the class or bots like infiltrating and adding comments. So I think there might be some settings you can do on the Padlet side to uh, but from what I understand is that this is kind of tomorrow I had to comment maybe on the moderation. So let's check it out.
There's a component there. It says moderation. If you scroll down, I haven't used that function in Padlet, but to respond to Brian, if I may, typically the link, I would just put it into the course content, so it would only reach our specific group of scholars or students, however you prefer to refer to them. And so that is one way to kind of shield the Padlet from the general public, that it's only going on this particular canvas, or if you're only using it in class. But then that depends on the institution, because sometimes, it's 100 people in the class and people are sharing information. So I hear what you're saying, Brian. But maybe, Harry, that moderation component is, yeah.
Yeah, I say another way, maybe if you have a really big class, maybe what you can do, it will take a little more work, but you can do a manual approval so that like before a post is added, it will need to be approved by the creator of the Padlet, which is usually the instructor, so that you can like manually approve content. So rather than having random things that you don't want in there, you can like manually approve them. So maybe that's one way you can handle that. Thank you, Tamar. Okay. So that is all for Padlet. It's a really cool platform, and is people can get really creative with their use. And I definitely recommend exploring it and also see like their platform. There are a lot of examples of how other people have used it to get some inspiration. So moving on to our third demo of the day, which is Kahoot. It is the like learning game. It is also my personal favorite because it just elicits so much fun and engagement in the classroom. So as usual, I will start with a little demo of Kahoot, so get you to experience it as a participant. So once you go to the website, you can sign up or log in for free. I'll just log in and so go to the library and so you can join the game either by scanning the QR code or go to Kahoot, their website, and enter this game pin. And something to know that may be useful to know is that once you start a game, people can still join. But if you don't want to do that, you can click on this log the game to prevent participants from joining. Yeah. So then I'll give another maybe 30 seconds for everyone to join, and then I'll hit start. All right. So you can still join once we started. You'll be oh, well, I guess we have reached the maximum participant limit. But if you are not able to join, just kind of observe and so after each game, there will be points given based on the correctness and quickness of the answer. So and there will be a leaderboard, and so after each game, the leaderboard will also refresh. Hey, everybody got this one right. Oh, three and three. And as you can see here down the bottom, if well, we're at the limit, but if we're not, like people can still join it, even as the game is going. The correct answer, thank you, Tamar, for asking that, is the one that's like with little this little sign on to it. So, but also if you're a participant, you'll be able to get immediate feedback on whether your answer is correct or not. So, two more questions. Hey, see the leaderboard. CG user is in lead. Just one last question. It's a trick question. I actually I would answer the true myself, but it's actually not the capital of Australia. So at the end, you can see that there will be a who's the winner. Very so this is kind of what it will look like. It's a game-based like quizzing. It's a quiz-based game. But I find it to be really like a boost to like student engagement in classroom and having a little like game, bring little competitiveness. Some comments in the chat echoed as well. So like I'll show you like how to create one of the games from scratch. So to do that, you would go to kahoot.com and then obviously register or sign up. But once you're logged in, this is kind of the platform you will see. It's quite busy, but to create a new Kahoot, you just simply go to the create on the top right and select Kahoot. And you can create a new Kahoot with like different ways. There you can either do from PDF to Kahoot. There's now also AI assisted generator. But for demo purpose, I would just do use the blank canvas. So this is what it would look like. And when you're creating one. So at the very center or the middle is when you're have your questions. So this is where you want to type your question. And you can also insert files or media. Sometimes based on the question you ask, it will suggest some photos, but it's optional. So it's not required. And in the demo, I actually didn't include any of the media or photo. But you need to add different response options. Let's just say you normally you would have 4 answers and 3 of them are wrong, and then 1 of them are correct. But you can also add more response options, but that will require like the premium feature. But with the basic account, you can add to up to 4 different options. But also you need to indicate which one is the correct answer by selecting on the little circle next to it. So doing that, and then that will indicate that's the correct answer when people are answering. And so moving on, like if we focus on our right-hand side, we see a little menu here with different options to allow us to customize the question. So the first one is about question type. So there are like many different types of questions. This one is the classic quiz. We also tried the true and false. Those 2 are provided with the basic account. But if you get the premium account, you can do more type of questions. You can set time limit for each question. So you can give people as short as 5 seconds up to a maximum 4 minutes to answer each question. And their points will be based on how correct if they're correct. And if they're correct, they get more points if it takes them shorter amount of time to answer that. You can also change the point giving system from the standard. Can do double points if it's an extra hard question, or you can do no points to lower the stake of question and remove points. You can change the answer options. You can change it to multiple select, but that'll require the premium account. So once you're done, you can once you're finished the setting of the question, you can add more questions if you go to the left-hand side, which is kind of like the PowerPoint format. So you can click add to add another question. So once you click that, you can see that it will first ask you what type of question you want it to be. So let's say we want to create a new true and false question, and just click that. And you can type in your question here, type in your statement, if it's true and false. And then since it's a true and false question, it will automatically populate the answers to be true and false. And it will just simply indicate which one is the correct answer. And as usual, you can set time limits and point scoring system. So you can add as many questions as you want. But once you're done with everything, you can hit save. It will ask you for your title. And then you can hit continue. Once it's saved, you can also test it before you publish it, before running with the participant by doing the launch demo. It will open up a new page where you can kind of both test it as the host and also as a participant in the game. But once you're ready to host to run this, you just simply hit host live, which will display the game in a screen. Ideally, you would want it to be like the big screen where everybody can see. And there are also different modes you can do. The classic mode where everyone is on their own. There also is a team mode where people will be like scoring points on team. but there are also like other different games that game mode you can do. But I think that will require the premium feature. So for the basic account, you could get the classic and the team mode. So once you hit start, you can see that's the screen we saw. It will load up the game pane and as well as a QR code for people to join. So that is Kahoot. It is a game-based learning, and I really like it because, like I said, it helps to boost up the fun aspect, the intrinsic motivation, and also sometimes it just, you know, depending when your class is, you might want to do this activity at the beginning of the class so that everyone feels more focused, feels more energized. It just brings a good start to the class. Um,
Hey, Harry, it looks like we had two questions. There was one from Tamar, you had your hand up, and then Alejandra has one in the chat as well.
okay.
I had a quick question. There was a limit of participants in the Kahoot. Is that the case because it's a specific type of account? Can you raise the limit of participants, let's say if it was a larger class?
Yes, I think that might be just the account. I actually didn't know that until I saw it, so I assume it is like tied to the basic account, but I can check it out from Kahoot. But yeah, if you want a larger class, um, like 11, I think that it was 11, where is the maximum participant limit for the basic account. Alejandra has a question: how would you add it? How would you add it to a slide that the way you have it? Alexandra, do you want to clarify what you mean with the question?
Yes, integrated. So what I meant was integrated into a slide. So I
Oh,
believe you were doing the slideshow, and then we came into a slide where we were able to get the QR code.
oh no. Oh, so I'm not sure. I'm not aware that it can be embedded in the PowerPoint like the Slido does.
Oh, okay.
So as far as I know, they might have it, but last time I checked, it's not. So usually you go to this Kahoot website and host it from the website.
Separate. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I see that we're actually running a little tight on time, so I'll just do a quick demo of the last before, and so that we have some time for the questions and reflection. So the last tool I want to show you today is called the Perusal. It is like a social learning platform. So if we go to perusal.com, and once we hit login, so this is the example I created, called it an example book club. Whereas so this is what the platform will look like. So you can kind of think of it as a Canvas page, as a Canvas course, where you invite students to come in to participate. So what I found to be a really interesting feature is that you can add content. So for example, course readings, books, chapters, articles. You can either pull them from the Perusal catalog, or if they don't have it, you can also choose to upload a PDF file on here. So once it's uploaded, it will show up on this list. So this is an example that is I pulled from the catalog. So this is a book. I can open the book, and what it will look like is just like the normal PDF viewer. So where you can also, on the right-hand side, select table contents. You can navigate through chapters. You can also navigate through pages here. So it just works kind of like a PDF viewer. But what's really interesting about this platform is that there's this conversation feature. And this is why it's like a social learning platform. So if you go to all conversations, you can see different comments of, so this, for the example, I just posted my own comments, but you can see where the pages is at and what comment is. So if you click into one of them, it will show you where the comment is highlighted. So this is kind of similar to how students would take notes on their own computer when they do the readings. But what's really interesting about this is that it kind of makes the notes public to all other people in the course, so that you can see what other people had commented, and also you'll be able to reply to their comment. So this is really like turning kind of the reading, which is usually done in a alone individual level, but making it into a social experience. And also you can, from the instructor perspective, you can also get a sense of like student engagement because you can see what people have commented, what their notes are, get a sense of where they might struggle in the reading, just through glancing some conversations. So, and it's really easy to create one such. So to create a new book club or a page, you would just go to Perusal and create here, and select book or journal club. Give it a name and give it a start date, an end date. Usually you maybe want it to be tied to your course start date and date as well. And hit OK. And then there will be a step-by-step guide to show you how to create. Just follow the steps. One of them will ask you to select content, so you can either search for example, if there's a book you want to add, you might search it here to see if they have it in their catalog. But just so you know, some of the books does come with a cost, and will tell you how much it costs. But also, if you don't want to do that, you can also upload your own content as well. So, and this is the one I selected. It's a free version. So just select that and hit continue. You can customize the welcome message for the members. And after everything this is all set up, you can give members your unique club code so that when they go to perusal.com, they can join through this code, or you can just give them this link where you can send them invites. I believe there are probably settings where you can see what members are in, so that if you can have a better control of who have access to this. But that's pretty much it. So this is where you create it, and then you can add content here through uploading a PDF. Let's say if you have specific articles you want them to read, you can upload it here. Okay, so that's a very quick demo for Perusal, which I think is a really useful tool, and it's probably mostly used asynchronously outside the class. But it can really, I feel like, boost up, give the student more motivation to do their readings, and also for instructors to kind of get a sense to keep track of where students are at in terms of their readings, and get some feedback. We have question in chat. So okay, so maybe since we kind of rushed through the different demos, I'll just do a quick overview, quick run through of what each does. So the first one, Slido, is like a live polling Q&A platform. And the advantage is that it can be embedded into your PowerPoint so that you can get live polling result from the student. Padlet is a visual collaboration platform. It can be used both synchronously in class or asynchronously outside of class. And there are like many different creative ways you can use it for. Kahoot is game-based, is a learning game, where it's the one we tried that you can answer different questions and people will be able to score points and kind of make learning more fun. And Peruso, the last one we just showed, is a social learning platform, which is like, it can also be used for Canvas. Mostly is, I find it useful to turn it into like a little book club or reading club, where you can assign students with readings, and if they want, they can leave comments in the readings, leave their notes, and that is public for other people to see. So that way you can get it into like, get them into engage like socially while doing their readings. So that is a quick rundown of all the different demos. And for the final reflection, so I have these two questions. What are some of the aspects you like about these tools, and which tools are you considering adopting in your own classroom? So I'll leave everyone with that question to reflect on, since we are like kind of toward the end of the webinar. But I also have this quote I want to share with everybody. So it's from George Couros: "Technology will never replace the great teachers, but in the hands of great teachers, it is transformational." So I want to thank you everyone for all your engagement in the webinar, and I hope you have find something useful, maybe something to explore on your own in your own classroom. And I want to leave the rest of the time in case people have any specific questions with any of the tools. But otherwise, thank you everyone for your participation.
Thank you very much.